welcome to the Customer Success Playbook podcast postgame show, where Kevin and I meet and discuss the recent episode, talk about our guests, the topics, what emerged from us, and key insights that we took away from the conversation. Kev, we just had Sue Nabeth Moore on, joined us from France, our third country we've had on thus far. We've had guests from 3 countries, which is unbelievable. So we've been fun. We've been fun. We got France, we got UK, we got United States. Yeah. We got like most of the allied powers already aligned here, Kev. So no, really great stuff. And Sue was awesome. We talked to Sue about organizing and getting customer success alignment across the entire organization, not just within a customer success team. For you, what any key takeaways from the conversation? Anything that stood out?
So, first, it was great talking to Sue. She was very engaging, and so talking with Sue, obviously, one of the first things that she talks about is CS coming in and being parachuted in as an organization. It's like operational, tactical. And Sue's argument is CS shouldn't be operational tactical, right? It should be strategic. So I think that was the big takeaway, making sure that when you're aligning strategically your CS organization. You're not just an afterthought. And I think it was great how we kind of dove in on that.
Yeah.
Thoughts on that?
Yeah, I just feel like you and I hear this theme a lot of these organizations that are like, I like that word, parachuting these teams into the organization, right? Yeah. Either they don't have a customer success team and they throw a customer success team in. And I feel like, there's like the rules and responsibility, who does what, where does CS fit into this? It's not, I don't want to say it's not well thought out, but it always seems it's very, very clunky. We've heard that CS becomes this operational dumping ground. Yeah. We're like, oh, that's a customer issue. That's the customer success team will handle that, right? And so I think Sue did a great job of kind of highlighting sort of obviously why that's an issue, but like how do organizations really start aligning those teams, and she talked about customer results and getting the sales and the marketing and all these teams focused on that. I think she said North Star, right? And, and how do you get them all aligned to that North Star so they're all working towards customer success. That was interesting. She talked about the importance of the kind of the top down buy-in, right? And obviously I know that's easier said than done, right? So if you're out there and you're in an organization where maybe you don't have that, I've been in those organizations, Kev, where you don't, maybe you talk about customer experience or success, but it's more of a ground up sort of approach, not a top down. And it's a challenge, right? It's really, really hard. And I think Sue did a good job highlighting that.
Yeah. It's funny. You were talking, you reminded me of the commercial, Mikey Likes It. So with the CS organization, and that's true. A lot of times, if you don't define your role clearly, and if you don't define the parameters of what a CSM should do, then the CSM becomes the default for anything that, well, I don't know who does this, let's give it to the CSM. Yeah. And so you definitely want to avoid that. And I think Sue was good at getting to the point that if it's organized around the North Star and organized around setting up the goals that you want to achieve for the customer, then your CS team responsibilities are not only about interfacing with the customer, but interfacing across the organization to help drive towards that North Star goal, whether it be in sales or whether it be kind of coming down through product or whatever. You're looking at what are your customers' goals, what are the things you want to, why are you there to service your customer? And as you're servicing your customer and working towards those goals, you maintain alignment throughout the organization. Yeah. The other thing Sue said, and it's something that I'd like your thoughts on, because she's like, you should start this way, which is great, but starting that way is easy if you're brand new, right? Yeah. If you're brand new but when CS is coming into an organization, it'd be great to be starting that way, but you're not necessarily starting with organizational alignment, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think you've got to start understanding, okay, we've got a starting place, and where you want to figure out where your goals are right up front in order to get to those goals as an organization, right? So identifying what are the customer objectives that you want to achieve, making sure you then have alignment throughout your organization on those customer objectives, and then it becomes easy to work across the organization.
Yeah, I don't want to oversimplify it, right? But sometimes I feel like it boils down to, like customer results. How do we know they're successful, right? How do you measure it? Focusing on then like continuous improvement from there, right? How do you work to make sure you can deliver results for your clients, right? And then I think a big piece, and Sue touched on this, is communication, right? What is the customer telling us? What's the client telling us? Or where are there improvement opportunities? What challenges do we have? And so I know it doesn't boil down that simple, but I think the role of communication is really, really important, especially as you start to bring in other teams. Starting aligning those other teams around customer success, because I think it's important they know the role of customer success. What role is it playing? What role do they play in it, right? I think that's super important. And then kind of that's what's in it for me. I always like that with them, right? Yeah. What's in it for me? And so I think if you communicate to those other departments, what is in it for them? If they start to see that value, then I think it's easier for them to get on board, wrap themselves around customer success, and obviously at the end result is delivering for the clients. So no, it was a great episode. I'm sure we'll definitely have Sue on again. But again, check out the entire episode. It's a great conversation. Sue hits on a bunch of big topics. She did talk about AI a little bit, Kev. Shockingly, she thinks there's big stuff in store with AI.
Surprise.
All of our guests are big on it. They're all buying in, right? Everyone's buying into AI. We'll talk to more and more guests. I know you and I don't want to give too many secrets away, but we're actually going to bring in a company that's integrating AI into their platform. We'll have that guest on to talk about it soon. And you and I have talked about this, Kev. I think AI is such an important topic. We'll continue to talk about this with our guests. We've been asking every single one of our guests about it every time they come on.
Right. Yeah, we'll see it as a constant theme going through this show. I assume pretty much as long as we go on, because it is such a it's a critical changing point in not just our industry but across all industries, and how AI is going to get integrated and moved. And over the next 5 years, it'll be part of making organizations successful, but also making a customer success team successful, right?
Yeah.
And how they choose to, and how you choose to integrate it. So, with that said, we've got lots of folks lined up through the end of the year.
We're lined up throughout the end of the year. We got great guests coming on. We have a website that's going to get released soon. You and I were just looking at it. So if you're checking us out on YouTube, this is the Customer Success Playbook office studio, right? But we were just looking at the website. It looks great. We have a lot of great guests lined up. So again, please, if you like this podcast, like it, subscribe it, leave a comment, give it a rating. Connect with Kevin and I. We're both on LinkedIn, at Roman Trebon, at Kevin Metzger. We have our own LinkedIn Customer Success Playbook page on LinkedIn.
We do.
So you can go out there and check us out there, follow our content there. We also have, like I said, I mentioned the YouTube page already. So if you're listening to our sweet tones via podcast and you want to check out the video, we have that too. So definitely do that. So again, thanks for listening. We really appreciate it. And until next time, Kev.
Keep on playing.
Keep on playing.